You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thorton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances, while the township supervisor, Tiffany Henyard, is under investigation. NBC 5's Regina Waldrop live from that meeting tonight with the latest. Regina?
Good evening, Stephen. This was a long and at times a heated meeting. So you had a number of trustees looking at ways to curtail spending by the administration here. But then you had the town supervisor here also upset with several trustees who had voted at a previous meeting not to pay certain vendors or payroll.
Hold on, you out of order.
What did he say?
If you want to have a little cat fight, we can handle this back there.
In Thornton Township, a tense special meeting with several trustees backing ordinances they say were about increasing accountability and preventing unapproved spending by the township, which is run by Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. She's also the mayor of Dolton and under federal investigation for alleged misuse of municipal funds. One of the ordinances proposed at the special meeting would have put a cap on credit card spending with purchases approved by the finance director, but that ordinance did not pass.
Coming in, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy.
Don't say.
But it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. So, but like I said, you have just some accountability, some transparency. And once again, as you can see, there's a lot of rhetoric and there's a lot of going back and forth, but how many
You don't say.
true answers did we get?
Also happening in Dolton, Deputy Police Chief Louis Lacey, fired for insubordination last week by the Dolton Village Board, is back.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Appointed by Tiffany Henyard as police chief. Trustees say it's an illegal appointment. Lacey was arraigned on federal bankruptcy fraud charges Thursday afternoon. It's alleged that he lied under oath in a scheme to hide assets and income from creditors.
Mr. Lacey is absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I think the government likes to bring as many counts as possible just so the media will say that he has been charged with 9 counts.
Stop the cap.
As for Lacey's appointment as chief, Dolton trustees, a majority of them tell me that they're talking to legal counsel right now to consider their next steps. As for Thornton Township, still no budget here. That is one of the issues that likely will be tackled at the next meeting. That happens next Tuesday.
There is more fallout in Dolton and Thornton Township. Illinois Comptroller Susanna Mendoza making a big move after Dolton failed to submit required documents.
And Thornton Township deals with more money troubles during a special meeting. NBC 5's Sandra Torres joins us now live from our control center to kind of break down all these latest developments. Sandra?
Yeah, Everett and Michelle, and there are several new developments. So first, let's start with that big announcement by Illinois Comptroller Susanna Mendoza. She made a move to encourage Dolton's administration to follow the law without penalizing town residents. So Mendoza stopped the offset fund payments to the south suburb, which amounts to about $135,000. Those are payments from those who owe traffic fines and parking tickets and other municipal dollars. In a statement, Mendoza says that for 2 years, Mayor Tiffany Henyard's administration has not submitted required financial reports to her office. Meanwhile, last night, a very long and heated meeting in Thornton Township. Tiffany Henyard is also the town supervisor there. As we know, she's under federal investigation for alleged misuse of municipal funds. So last night, she was upset with several trustees who had voted not to approve paying some vendors.
Flag on each and every one of y'all.
I think you should pay everybody. Is it the reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for. You just asked me.
You have an invoice?
They do.
When can we see that?
You can see it whenever you want. So
Okay.
let me just be crystal clear up here.
Right now?
You can see it whenever you want.
Right now?
Well, the clerk has everything.
And several trustees continued to ask for invoices to make a more informed decision, they said, on those payments, but they did not receive them. Some of the trustees are also backing ordinances they say were meant to increase accountability to prevent unapproved spending by the township. One of the ordinances proposed would have put a cap on credit card spending with purchases approved by the finance director. That ordinance did not pass. Dolton trustees say they are now talking to attorneys to see what their next steps are going to be.
We are following some breaking news out of suburban Dolton.
And this comes just days after the trustees terminated the deputy police chief. Now the mayor of the village, Tiffany Henyard, has appointed him to a new position. NBC 5's Regina Waldrop has reaction on today's announcement.
Good evening. An illegal appointment. That's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel to figure out their next steps. Now, it was last Monday that Deputy Dolton Police Chief Louis Lacey was put on administrative leave by the Dolton Village Board. Trustees say he returned to work the next day and was later fired for insubordination. Then today, trustees say they got word that Mayor Tiffany Henyard has now appointed Lacey as police chief without trustees voting on this appointment, and they say Lacey has also not been sworn in to the position. Now, Lacey was in court a short time ago. He was arraigned on federal bankruptcy fraud charges. It's alleged that he lied under oath in a scheme to hide assets and income from creditors to avoid paying more than $40,000 in a lawsuit settlement.
Well, Mr. Lacey is absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts.
Yeah, that's it, Ticket.
I believe he's cooperating. And if you cooperate, you have to admit your guilt first.
We do not care.
And happening here tonight in South Holland, a special meeting called by the Thornton Township Board of Trustees. They have a number of items on the agenda looking to curtail spending that they say is being done by Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who is also Township Supervisor. We should also mention that the Township is now into its new fiscal year and still without a budget.
South suburban Dolton. It's in deep debt, and that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany Henyard. NBC5's Regina Waldrop reports some say they're not surprised and more bad news is likely to come for this small town.
A village in financial crisis.
To sit there and see their report yesterday, it really made me sick to my stomach.
A recent probe into the spending habits of self-proclaimed super mayor Tiffany Henyard and her administration paints a bleak picture for Dolton. Henyard is the focus of a number of lawsuits and federal probes. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot launched this probe in April. She was hired by trustees. Some of her key findings: no annual reports or audits since 2021. The general fund for day-to-day operations had a healthy multi-million-dollar surplus a couple of years ago. It's now in the red, $3.6 million. Police department expenditures up 21%. 2 officers being paid more in overtime pay than regular pay. The deputy police chief got more than $200,000 in overtime pay. 589 checks for more than $6 million approved but not sent to vendors. And the village using 6 different credit cards, but receipts rarely provided. More than $40,000 in charges on the same day to Amazon. Tammy Brown and Kiana Belcher are trustees.
Who would make a one day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon? And the main thing is, what is it?
Well, they knew what they were doing, and they thought they can get away with it.
Also happening this week, a proposal to change credit card policies. 8 village employees laid off, and the deputy police chief put on administrative leave Monday has now been fired for insubordination. So a hiring freeze and additional layoffs, that'll be discussed at the next village board meeting.
That light for deal with Christian. Yo, for deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that light for deal with Christian. For deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that light for deal with Christian.